Rick, our final preparations have just wrapped up for this weekend's game. How's the team looking?
Good, Ben. We had a little bit of a hiccup on Wednesday with Nicky Kotrick just straining a groin, so we're not going to risk him. So he'll be out. I'll bring Albert Hopper back into the squad and keep James Shittle on the as 18th man. Reason being, Hopper's been playing consistent football. Shill's still not 100% ready for a full 80 minutes just yet. We've just got to work him into that. So it gives us a bit of luxury there, having that ability to come back into the squad.
Well, I suppose it's been a really good thing then, obviously, having Albert been able to play some football over the last month. Obviously didn't play last weekend, but, he's been really strong for us when he has played.
He has. He's been talking to me a lot over the last 12 months in regards to his opportunity of playing NRL, and it was all about just getting consistent games under his belt, consistent games back to back, because he's just had such a disruptive couple of years. The second grade not playing last year, two injuries to Hop. So once you got some consistent footy, the opportunity came up, and he has not looked back. He's been wonderful, and the boys all like playing with him, and that's the best gauge.
In terms of setting it up for a finals opportunity and an exciting game for the fans, obviously Manly coming down here and a chance for us to keep things in our own destiny by winning this game.
Yeah, Ben. The big thing is that we can certainly control our future in the competition this year now. We're not relying on anybody else. We need to win games. We need to win games in good form. So there's a real challenge ahead of us. There's that goal now. There's that opportunity of making the 8, and I've got to take my hat off to the players, the whole club in regards to the playing group. We've had a very, very difficult start to the season with major injuries to key players. But we've approached the season with being adaptable, being flexible to whatever situation confronts us, and the boys have been very strong on that, and they've done a good job in just jumping the hurdles and continuing on and doing what we can do controlling what we can control.
And obviously, you guys would have addressed this week the start to the game last week and how we can be better this weekend. What is it that we need to do to make sure that we come out of the blocks and start well tomorrow?
Just the little things, Ben, the simple things. We gave silly, undisciplined penalties away at the start of the game last week. Had some turnovers in, and they had no yardage sets. And not to take any credit away from Newcastle, I thought they played really good football in that first 40 minutes, and it was a jolt we needed. Half time, they've looked at each other and turned a performance on in the second half, which got us back on the front foot.
This weekend, we'll be saying farewell to a number of players, as you do most seasons, but probably some really significant names in there this year, with obviously Charnze Nicoll-Klokstad, Ryan Sutton, who were part of that 2019 squad, and then Josh Hodgson, who's just been a wonderful club man and such a big part of this team for a long time. Yeah,
the three boys have had and Adam Elliott this season, but those three boys you've named that have had a huge contribution to the club over the last number of years. Hodjo's been here since 15, I think it was, and he's been instrumental in regards to his growth as a person. He's got a new family that he's brought up here in Canberra with his wife Kerb. He's been instrumental around the club. I think his football, he was challenging Cameron Smith as one of the great hookers of the game when he was getting consistent seasons. And yet he's had such a tough run with injury. Three knee reconstructions. It's been very, very challenging times for him. And now the club's got around Hodjo. He's taken the club on as a second family, and I know his family have appreciated that, and we've appreciated Josh. He's been, as one of our former captains, he's been a huge contributor to this club, and I'll never forget what he's done for us. He came across here with Sir Soliola and helped start it off this. Kicked us off again, revived our competitive nature as a football club, and he's been a big part of that.
Outside of Mal Meninga, Gary Belcher, do you think he's one of the club's most influential outside signings?
Absolutely. I think we've had a number of great influential signings to the club, and when you go back and have a look at the eras of signing players from Brisbane, It's Mal and Gary Belcher and Peter Jackson and the Walters brothers. A number of the boys, or a number of people I forget. And then we, through Tim Sheens, we raided New Zealand, and the players the club turned into internationals there has been very, very evident. And then I decided to have a look at England, and Josh was the one that kick-started that for us. And we've had some great success from our Englishmen here, and having there another one in Ryan Sutton, another one from New Zealand in Chance. Those boys have been very, very strong for the club. They've been good for the club, and they won't be lost. They'll always be known as Raiders, and will never be lost to the club for their contribution and from a part of history.
You mentioned Tim Sheens there, a really personal milestone for you this week. You'll equal him as the most coached games for the club. It's a really lovely milestone and something that no doubt you're quite proud of.
I'm very proud of it, Ben, especially to achieve a record that was created from such a great person in Tim, a guy that done so much for this club. He built one of the greatest eras of football here by winning a number of competitions, and I really think we could have won another one or two, but wasn't to be. What he created in the late 80s, early 90s will be very hard to challenge. Some of the footballers that he had in those groups will go down in household names here, not just in Canberra, but right throughout the NRL community. The footprint or the stronghold that Tim Sheens has had on the NRL, with a number of his players going into coaching, a number of his players in administration, coming through Tim and learning under Tim. I don't know if it'll ever be created again. He's just had such an influence on so many people's lives, such an influence on rugby league, and that's how Tim will want to be remembered too. He's a very passionate rugby league person, and he will be always remembered as me as a mentor and a great coach, but more importantly as a great mate.
How much of his coaching have you taken on board and sort of used to structure your career in the way that you've gone about your coaching side of things?
I've learned so much from Tim, and it's about preparation and relationships, and it's not just what happens on the footy field, it's how you get to the footy field, it's how you get to training that's so important. And there's a lot of work done behind the scenes in regards to all that, a lot of work that people don't see, wouldn't even understand that happens, and that's the hard part of coaching. If you're just sitting there watching video and going out and training, that's the easy fun part of it. Getting the people to the sideline, getting your team to the sideline in best physical and mental condition is the biggest challenge, and Tim's taught me so much about that because he did it so well.
All the best for tomorrow, Rick, and hopefully we can keep our final hopes alive with a good win over Manly.
That's the plan, mate. Thank you very much, Ben.